Missionaries are no longer explorers. Missionaries are agents of solidarity. Welcome. Explore with us how mission has changed and how now mission can become an engine for global solidarity and world peace. Let's begin by considering a brief history of mission. It all began in the beginning. Chapter 1, Assumptions. Time is limited, so we have to assume 13.8 billion years, roughly the age of the universe. We have to assume creation, Earth. The birth of Jesus, that he was a teacher, that he had followers. His followers knew him as the Christ, the Son of God. Let's too assume that these followers basically formed the Catholic Church, and that Catholicism became the religion of Europe by the end of the 3rd century. This brings us to 1490. Catholicism is the religion of Europe. Martin Luther is just 7 years old, and the age of exploration is upon us. Chapter 2, the Age of Exploration. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Before Columbus, humans, Europeans, assumed a much smaller world. The Americas did not exist. The European explorers took missionaries with them to the New World. This is the first wave of mission. There's so much to explore. And humans can travel anywhere on the earth through ocean-faring ships. They were the engine for the first wave of mission. Communication was dependent on these ships too, in the form of letters or person-to-person messages. The world was introduced to the church through the missionaries who traveled on these ships. By the way, it took Columbus about 8 weeks to get from Europe to America on these ships. Chapter 3, the Age of Colonialization. After the explorers came settlers, and settlers created colonies. The second wave of mission began. The colonies made European countries into empires. The church used these developments, just like it used the ancient roads of Rome, to plant the church in every land. If the engine of the first wave of mission was the ocean-faring ship, the engine of the second wave of nation building was the locomotive. The trains could penetrate a continent. Here in the United States, the transcontinental train was completed on May 10th, 1869. Travel from coast to coast on land went from being 6 months to being 6 days. Around the same time was the development of the telegraph, created by Samuel Morse in 1836. The first transcontinental message was sent to President Lincoln on October 24, 1861. The message was virtually instantaneous, less than 6 minutes. Missionaries could now travel to distant lands and stay in communication with home. In the second wave of missionaries introduced the world to the church. Chapter 4: The Rise of the Global Village. Colonialization collapsed. Independent countries emerged. We can now travel anywhere in the world by air, rail, and roads. Benjamin Franklin took 6 weeks to travel from Philadelphia to Paris. It now takes 7.5 hours. The telegraph was replaced by the telephone, then the computer, and now the smartphone. The rise of the global village opened mission to the laity in 65 when the Fathers of the Vatican II issued Agendas, the document on mission. There were very few short-term mission immersions. We estimate maybe 500. Today there are millions of people going on mission every year. There's some controversy about short-term mission trips. Nevertheless, there is evidence that bridges of mutual concern and solidarity are being built between and among peoples of various cultures, races, and social economic class. Chapter 5: A Changing Global Network. We can encounter and develop relationships, mutual, sustainable, with anyone on the planet. And we sustain these relationships through instant communication, face to face in real time. We learn about what's going on in their countries through our 24/7 news cycle. This is changing the way a mission is organized. All roads lead to Rome. If a layperson wanted to contribute to missions in Africa, she or he would give money to the mission collection at their parish. Their parish would send it to the diocese sent it to New York, where our Pontifical Mission Societies is located, and New York sent the money to Rome. Rome would distribute the money to the mission diocese in Africa. The gift and the need all had to pass through the center, and only the center knew all the gifts as well as all the needs. We call this the centric and unilateral mission network. It has an identifiable center, and communication is essentially one way. Has changed. Due to easy travel and the vast improvements in communication, the centric and unilateral mission network is being challenged by the development of the bilateral and decentric mission network. Individuals, parishes, can have a direct relationship with people in another country. No more middleman. But the only ones who know about this relationship are the groups involved. Before, the center knew the gifts and the needs of everyone, everywhere. A bilateral relationship makes mission very real to the laity. People develop relationships, friendships that grow and mature over the years. There's a true sharing of gifts and needs. Lives are transformed. People experience the Catholic character of our faith in a deeply profound way. Bridges of solidarity are built. However, bilateral relationships can be exploited on both sides. Sometimes the relationship just becomes superficial or transactional. The U.S. churches go for the quick fix, or the mission churches take the money and run. Chapter 6. What is the next chapter? in global mission? Is it possible to support the development of direct mission relationships? We believe it is, and we want to do it. We want to connect missionaries with missionaries. We are willing to shoulder the responsibility of mapping these relationships and making them available to everyone through the internet. Every mission is identified, known, and accessible to everyone, anywhere, 24/7. Of the possibilities. Your parish is considering establishing a sister relationship with a Catholic parish in Africa. You have some parishioners who have family in Nigeria. You click on Africa, then you click on Nigeria. It's organized by diocese. You click on the Archdiocese of Lagos. Up it comes, like a Google map with pins that point to all the missions in the Archdiocese. You click on any pin and it will give you lots of information about the mission itself. And it will identify the relationships it has with parishes or religious orders, or hospitals or campus ministries here in the United States. You can call them to find out what it's like. What are their challenges? What are the pitfalls? What are the obstacles? You can learn together about the best ways to be in relationship with our brothers and sisters in the missions in the Archdiocese of Lagos, in the country of Nigeria, on the continent of Africa. We believe that Jesus says to us, "As the Father has sent me, so I now send you." What is true of the apostles is true of us. Jesus is sending us. He wants us to go beyond ourselves, to step outside of our comfort zone, to cross some type of border, to risk a personal encounter with a complete stranger, and to do so in His name, in service to the kingdom of God. What is true of the apostles is true for us. It is a big world. There are amazing bridges of solidarity being built every day among peoples of different races, cultures, languages, and class. Missionaries, mostly the religious sisters, religious priests and brothers, diocesan priests and deacons, and long-term lay missionaries, have connected us to the world, and we owe them a tremendous debt of gratitude. They met strangers and have introduced them to us as their friends. Today, Pope Francis calls all of us to mission, and mission is defined much less by geography and much more by social and economic factors, people on the peripheries. We need to know who is doing what, where, and how. Jesus wants us to build bridges of solidarity and peace among His peoples, to share God's love with friends and strangers, to grow in holiness and service, making the world a better place so that we can live together in peace on our common home. Together, we can build the global mission connection, connecting missionaries with one another, connecting the church to mission and mission to the church, and connecting the world to the church and the church to the world, taking the first steps of global solidarity. Partner with us in our efforts to build this global mission connection. It will be good for us, good for the world, and it will give glory to God. Continue our conversation to explore with us these possibilities. My contact information, my email address is on the slide before you. Thank you, and God bless.